It's essentially like my husband having his new wife coming into our house right now, introducing him to my little Mikey. He's the new mom. I leave, and then he's like, oh, Di, come back. You're cooking so good. We actually want to keep you here because, you're so great at that whole thing. You can't. I'd be like, no, it's over. It's over. We're done.
It just keeps going from bad to worse for Dianna Russini, and she has got no one to blame but herself. Headline and awful announcing. Dianna Russini's career cannot come back from this. Yeah, no shit. Dianna Russini should have hired Uncle Casey as her crisis counselor. Now, obviously, I don't have a PhD from Woke U in psychology, but I do have a PhD in logic with a master's in common sense. From the very beginning, since this story initially broke 2, maybe 3 weeks ago, there was only one logical path. There was only one way that Dianna Russini had a chance to save her media career. Own it. As soon as the New York Post leaked those photos of Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini doing their personalized version of the Cover 2 defense, Dianna Russini should have come out publicly and said, I made a mistake. I have been having an affair with Mike Vrabel. He has been teaching me a variety of different formations. My personal favorite is where I am pretending to be the center and Mike Vrabel is giving me the shotgun. You see, once you own your mistakes, you take away all the fuel from the flaming ass fire. Now, does it go away immediately? Obviously not. There will be backlash, there will be fake outrage, but eventually the story will go away. Something else will happen. A bald man will spike his non-existent hair by sticking his finger in an electric ass, and your scandalous affair will be forgotten. When people look back at it months later, maybe even years later, at least they could have said Dianna Russini was honest. She was upfront and honest in a situation where it is incredibly difficult to be honest. That's called character. Several weeks ago, my daughter was caught cheating on a quiz. I could not have been prouder of my daughter. Why? Because when she got caught, she didn't make excuses. She didn't lie and say she was simply enhancing her chances at getting a good grade. She said, I was cheating. I was wrong. And because of her honesty, along with the fact that this mistake is out of her character, the principal didn't kick her out of school. They didn't suspend her. They allowed her to take a 0, and she still has an A in that class. From the beginning, Dianna Russini has lied about her obvious affair with Mike Vrabel, and because she has lied, it caused her pretend friends in the media to investigate her claims. Don't worry, guys, it was just a girls' trip. Me and Mike Vrabel, we're besties! Yesterday, the New York Post released new photographs of Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel making out in some dump of a bar in New York City. Now, I'm sure Dianna Russini will say, we weren't making out. Mike Vrabel was simply performing an oral exam. He was using his tongue to check for cavities. Unfortunately for Dianna Russini, these so-called new pictures, they're not so new. The pictures were taken 6 years ago, and now people are questioning whether Dianna Russini's children have something in common with Mike Vrabel. Genetics, DNA, or maybe even his last name. Make sure to like and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at KC_BTL84. Let's go and get to the sponsor for today's video, my good friends at Sugar Mountain Trading. My uncle called me around Thanksgiving. He's a military veteran, served in the Gulf War in the early 90s, but as he's gotten older, been dealing with various health-related issues. Doctors had him on pain management, had him taking all this medication just to get him to sleep at night, most of which wasn't working. Once the meds wore off, he was tossing and turning all night, plus he was building up a tolerance to it. My aunt bought him some CBD lotion from Sugar Mountain Trading, wanted him to try it out just to see if it would work. My uncle applies the CBD lotion every night before he goes to bed. He is getting the best sleep that he has gotten in years. Doesn't even take the pain medication anymore because he doesn't need it. I have got countless stories from viewers, friends, family. They all tell me the same thing. They cannot believe this stuff actually works. There is a reason Sugar Mountain Trading has been with me here on the channel for 18, 19 months now. My audience keeps buying their CBD because Sugar Mountain Trading is the real deal. All CBD products offered at Sugar Mountain Trading, 100% natural, 100% free of THC. So click the link in the description or the pinned comment below. Use my promo code BTL25, BTL25. Receive 25% off your first purchase with Sugar Mountain Trading. Over the years, one of Dianna Russini's main problems has been her uncontrollable yapper. She reveals far too many details about her personal life, and now those details are biting her in the caboose that Mike Vrabel used to masseuse. Check it out for yourself. Hey guys, it's me, Dianna Russini. I'm looking at my eldest offspring and I'm wondering who he looks like in the NFL. Mike Vick, Mike Tyson. I know who he resembles, Mike Vrabel. This is not AI. This is not hyperbole. It is entirely possible that Mike Vrabel is the father of one, or maybe even both, of Dianna Russini's children. Now, you're probably wondering the same thing that I was. Where in the hell is her husband? Why is he exercising his right to remain silent? This is pure speculation on my part. The only reason I'm saying this is because this is probably what I would do if I were in his situation. I'm wondering if Dianna Russini's husband hired a private investigator. Do I think he hired a private eye 6 years ago? No, but I would not be surprised if he hired one in the last 6 to 12 months. Think about it. How did the New York Post obtain photographs of Dianna Russini and Mike Vrabel on a romantic getaway in Arizona? How did the New York Post obtain pictures that were taken 6 years ago? Someone is leaking this information to the media. This appears to be a coordinated attack to destroy the media career of Dianna Russini. And who has the motive to do it? Who is the only one that potentially benefits from her downfall? Because of the way that she has handled this, Dianna Russini's media career, it will never recover. It's over. Uncle Casey, that's not true. She can start a YouTube channel and become a major star. Like it's so easy. Dianna Russini has been working in the media for decades. You know how many times she has been given her own show? To my knowledge, none. Now, is it easy to start a YouTube channel? Sure, it's easy to get one started, takes minimal effort. If she addressed her scandal with Mike Vrabel, she would generate millions of views in her first couple of episodes, but where would Dianna Russini go from there? What's next? It is incredibly difficult to maintain an audience long term. Lots of people can go viral. Lots of people generate millions of views on TikTok by behaving like Captain Doofus. But in order to survive long term, you have got to provide value. In terms of her career, Dianna Russini's value has been tied to her contacts in the NFL. After everything that's happened, who in the hell's going to trust her? Not only is she an alleged philanderer, Dianna Russini is one of the worst things that you can be in an industry that is supposed to be built on trust. Dianna Russini is a liar. Now, as for Mike Vrabel, initially, I thought Mike Vrabel would be able to survive this. And look, he still might. Great coaches are hard to find in the NFL, and there is no denying the fact that Mike Vrabel is a great coach. But here's the problem. Initially, I thought this was a random affair. I knew Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini had a professional relationship that went back years. I figured they had developed an attraction over time. They developed a close friendship. Sometime over the last 6, maybe 12 months, I thought Mike Vrabel slipped up and started doing the fornicating with Dianna Russini. But 6 years? 6 years? And those are just the 6 years that we know about. This relationship between Mike Vrabel and Dianna Russini, it could go back 10, 15 years. And this entire time, Mike Vrabel is leading the young men in his locker room during Bible study. He's publicly chastising Travion Henderson for not being inclusive to the OGs and LGBT. The hypocrisy is the problem for Mike Vrabel. It would be one thing if Mike Vrabel is known as a professional pipe layer, but this dude is preaching family values in the locker room. He is presenting this image as a God-fearing family man while deeply exploring the insides of his favorite NFL insider. Not only is Dianna Russini a liar, Mike Vrabel is a liar and a hypocrite. As a head coach, how is he supposed to command respect from his players? How are they supposed to trust him when Mike Vrabel has been lying to him for years? Now, he is missing the NFL draft to go get counseling, which means this scandal is affecting his job. Now, you gotta remember, coaching in the NFL is incredibly difficult. I'm sure you guys have dealt with family problems, divorce problems with your kids, problems with your wife. When you're going through those struggles, did it affect your job performance? Me and my wife, we rarely fight. We argue sometimes, but it's rare for us to have major fights. In the rare instance that we are fighting, it affects my performance here on YouTube. You guys might not see it, but when things aren't right at home, it makes everything else in your life more difficult. Unfortunately for Mike Vrabel, this is just the beginning. I cannot imagine what life is like right now for Mike Vrabel at home. Do I think the Patriots are going to fire him? Probably not, but I wouldn't be surprised if Mike Vrabel decided to walk away voluntarily. Sound off in the comments below. I'll see you guys later.